Hi, this is Sebastien Braxton and welcome to Verse by Verse. This season we're actually looking at Genesis chapter 1 and this episode is going to be verse 1, where the Bible says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." It was William Anders, who was an astronaut in 1968, a part of the Apollo 8 mission, who as he came around the moon, these were the first words that came into his mind. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The beauty of the sight had inspired him with only not just words of a poet or a philosopher, but of the words of God. In this particular verse, we know that these words were not written for us initially. They were actually written for Hebrew slaves who had been oppressed for hundreds of years. And God wanted to communicate the fact that he had always been there from the beginning, that God pre-existed the heavens and the earth, that the universe is not eternal. It hasn't always been there, and that God is not the universe. The stars are not God, the sun is not God, the planets are not God, and nothing in creation is God, but that God is separate from them. That there are two categories of existence, the creator and the created. Now, you and I may not have been oppressed by, as a people, I should say, as the Jews for hundreds of years, but we have been oppressed by fear. We have been oppressed by guilt, by others, by parents, by a relationship, or by a financial situation. And in that oppression, when we come out of it, it makes us question ourselves, our own value, because we've been told or made to feel as if we are not valuable, that we are not worth time or attention. But Genesis 1 communicated to them as well as to us that because our origins are found in the mind and the creativity of God, that we do have value. And that God has been there from the beginning means that he has not missed a moment of my life. Not just the kindergarten experiences or your first picture or your first kiss or the first time you skinned your knee, but God has actually been there even in the painful moments of life. But moving forward from there, it lets us know that our devotion, our worship, should never be given to something that has not always been. Anything in the category of created can be made and it can be broken, which means we are putting our faith and trust in something that will not last. When you think about this, you remember Jesus' words to Jeremiah when he said, "Before you were in the womb, I knew you." Or the Apostle Paul on Mars Hill saying that God knew the bounds of your habitation and decided when you would be born, in what era, and in what time and geography on the earth. All of these things communicate that only he is worthy of our absolute devotion. And I trust that if we learn to make that decision, that we are resting upon something that will be eternal, that can never be broken, and that will never let us down.